Go, girl.
Okay. Well, hello there. We're so glad you could join us for virtual date night. I'm Christine,
I'm Ryan.
and we have been married this summer for 25 years, which is pretty exciting. And we were planning to go on a big trip this summer to celebrate, but unfortunately, with the way things are going, we're not going to get to go on that trip, and that's disappointing. And during this time when there are disappointments for everyone, we could all use a little encouragement, couldn't we? And if you saw the sermon on Sunday, Barry said that God's people should be relentless encouragers. And at the top of our list of people we should encourage, it should be our spouse.
Okay, we should start over. Let's start over. I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to
I
go
just
all the way
don't-
up to the icebreaker?
Yeah.
You're just gonna say hi.
Yeah, but I think maybe. What if I start and then you go take it and go all the way up to the icebreaker?
Okay,
Um,
sure.
I'm just not crazy about the disappointment line.
Oh, okay. We can take that out.
Well,
I
I
was
guess
just
it
trying
bridges.
to figure
It
out how
makes
to
a connection.
segue into
Right. Right. Okay.
and to tie it to other things we're learning right now.
Okay.
But I don't have to say that. I just say we've been married 25 years, and
Okay. I'm gonna start,
okay,
and then with stuff that's not even on this page, and then.
okay, great.
You can talk about being married for 25 years.
Okay.
Okay?
We can say we were disappointed.
Yeah,
True.
that sounds good.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, y'all. I'm Ryan, and this is
Christine.
someone I'm married to, and welcome to virtual date night. We hope that you guys enjoyed tonight. Wish we could all go out on a real date, but we'll enjoy virtual date night. Christine and I have been remarking about all of the sneak peeks that we get to have into people's homes at IBC. We've been watching Jason and Crystal lead worship and Barry in his study, and we've just noticed how all of their homes look amazing and immaculate, and it looks like JoJo Gaines just left. And what we thought is that seems like a lot of work, and so we're doing this outside in the backyard.
We have been married for 25 years this summer, and actually we'll be celebrating our anniversary in July. And we were planning a big trip to celebrate, but it looks like that trip's not going to happen, which is disappointing. And I know a lot of folks have disappointments going on right now, and we could all use some encouragement, couldn't we? On Sunday, Barry talked about that God's people should be relentless encouragers. And at the top of the list of people we should be encouraging should be our spouse.
So we wanted to give you some ideas about how to encourage one another with compliments. One of the verses that we've memorized with our kids is Ephesians 4:29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs. And so your words for your spouse ought to be helpful to him or her, ought to build her up, ought to meet her needs, ought to bring grace. So how do you use words to compliment her in a way that's helpful, that builds her up according to her needs?
So, before we get going, why don't you grab a beverage, get settled in and get comfortable. We've got an icebreaker for you. So go ahead and get ready, and we'll talk about complimenting your spouse.
Oh, that was good.
Good job. You're funny.
Okay. This is you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, ready? Whenever you're ready.
All right. Okay. So how can you use words to build up your spouse? What are the things you love about your spouse? What are some qualities that you can praise? And remember that compliments should be specific and sincere. And when I say specific, what I mean by that is think about some specific examples of what you're complimenting. If your wife is a great cook, think about some recipes that she is good at cooking and mention those. Or if your husband is great at writing, then mention some specific things that he's written and how they've impacted people. For example, last week, Ryan wrote an article for the Dallas Morning News, and a reader wrote in and said that it soothed his soul. And that meant a lot to me, and I mentioned it to him because his writing isn't just good, but it matters to people, and it can soothe their souls. So I was proud of him for that and wanted to compliment him.
It's an object lesson. You're doing the complimenting as part of the lesson
Well,
about
sure,
complimenting.
why not?
Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes. So be specific and also be sincere. You need to make sure that your compliments are So make sure your compliments are sincere. Make sure you don't have an agenda. Your spouse will know if you're just flattering them to try to get what you want, and they'll begin to dismiss sincere compliments that you give if they don't know when you're telling the truth or not. Here's an example, guys. Don't just tell your wife she's pretty when you want some. Because she won't believe that she's pretty. She'll think that you're just saying that because you know. Anyway, so make sure you tell your wife she's pretty at other times. Now, it's okay when you're feeling romantic to tell her she's pretty, but make sure that's not the only time that you compliment her or tell her that she's pretty.
I see. So you highlighted like something I did well to make me feel good before you pointed out something that I need to work on. The second thing, we have 4 things. The second thing we wanted to say about giving compliments is that it should be part of your regular, your everyday life, right? So let's not only give each other compliments on our birthdays and anniversaries. It's like that guy that said, what's the joke about the guy who told his wife he loved her when he married her and then just said, I'll let you know if anything changes. That's not how we should approach compliments. So there are opportunities to give Christine compliments every day. So just look for those opportunities to think about giving her compliments. And compliment not just the superficial things. So this is number 3. Look for ways to compliment more than just guys, more than just the way that she looks, but also compliment her heart, what you appreciate about her walk with the Lord, her mind, things that are not just superficial. I get to teach part of the foundation class sometimes at IBC, and every time I do, I get to brag on Christine about her kind heart, that she leads in ministry to hurting people because she's a kind person, her brilliant brain, that she's kind of a big deal at her company. She's a CPA. And so I get to compliment her for more than the way that she looks. And another thing that you can do, this is a bonus, this wasn't one of our 4, is do what we just did in front of other people. If you talk complimentarily, I don't think it's a word. If you speak well of your spouse in front of other people, it carries a big packs a punch. That's what I'm going to say. So make it part of your everyday experience and make it not just superficial, but things that matter.
And then also make sure that you receive compliments with grace. So we talked about giving compliments, but also we need to be able to receive compliments. So learn to be grateful and to say thank you when your spouse compliments you. This
I'm awesome at this.
Something that we had to work on. Just imagine if you complimented somebody on something and the reaction was, You're an idiot. That is not true.
I don't say you're an idiot.
No, that's just an extreme example. But Ryan used to do this. Every time I complimented him, he would say, no, probably not. And if that's your reaction, it probably has nothing to do with your spouse. It might be that you want to be humble, that you don't want to be prideful and go, well, yes, I am. Thanks a bunch. Or it may have more to do with your own self-doubts as to whether or not those compliments are true. But if your spouse is complimenting you, and hopefully they follow this and they're sincere about it, then just receive that with grace and say thank you. So we had to work on this. I used to compliment Ryan, and he would say, no, probably not. And I couldn't figure out why that really bothered me. And I realized that it was because I felt like he was saying I was wrong. And so we talked about that. And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not intend to make you feel that way. And so he started saying thank you. But because he wasn't used to it and had to start practicing that, he would say it really loud.
Thank you.
Just like that. Thank you. And actually, he still does that today, but mostly now he does it because it makes me laugh, which is another thing I can compliment him on. He's really funny.
Thank you.
It makes me laugh. So receive compliments with grace.
So, to recap, make sure that your compliments are sincere and genuine, and you don't have an ulterior motive. Compliment one another regularly and often. Make it a regular part of your day-to-day life, so it's not weird whenever you compliment her. What was the third thing? I have notes. Compliment one another on things that aren't superficial. Think a little bit deeper about the things that you compliment one another on, and then try to practice getting good at receiving compliments by saying thank you.
So now you're going to have an opportunity to talk with your spouse about all these things, and there's going to be some discussion questions up on the screen, and we'd love for you to unplug and face each other and talk about these things. So if you want to jot down the questions or take a quick snapshot with your phone and then close your computer so you can talk face to face, then go ahead and do that. Thanks for being here, and we hope you have a wonderful date night.
Gosh, you're good at making videos.
Thank you.